It's just kind of cool. Oh gosh, there we go. That's the one, right? Check, check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Check, check, mic check. Loved one, loved one. Throw up something in the chat if you can hear me. Testing the audio. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Loved ones, loved ones. Throw something in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me testing this audio. How y'all doing tonight? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know in the chat if you are able to hear me and see me. Check, check, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check. Check, check, mic check. Let me know if you can hear me. Put something in the chat and let me know you're there. Good evening. Man, it's super warm. Loved ones. Loved ones. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check. Ah. Let me plug y'all back up. Check, check, mic check. Let me know if you can hear me testing this audio. Good evening. If you have any questions, anything, you want to chop it up, let me know. Drop a question in the comment. Drop a question on the chat. I appreciate y'all showing love coming through. This is the very first of many, and I'm going to get a lot better at this too, just getting the audio together. It's my very first time ever doing this, so bear with me, but we are here. And I appreciate you all for spending that time with me. Mr. Rios, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Salute to you for coming through the chat to show some love. I appreciate that. It's very kind. Thank you so much. I remember you too from the comment section. So thank you so much for coming through. We here, we vibing, live and live in color. Got the Monday Night Football going on in the back. If you can see that, Vikings and Bears. Sis, I see you. Thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate you for coming through. Thank you. Yes, yes, vibing and thriving. That's what's going on. That is what's going on. Let me know what y'all want to talk about. If it's anything in particular, if y'all got questions. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read Gilbert's question. Do you know if dismissive, avoidant, and narcissist are kind of the same thing? Let me get at some thought. That's a good question. And I definitely don't want to speak out of turn. Dismissive, avoidant. Let me educate myself a little bit while I have you in the chat. But as far as I'm concerned, based on my experience, like there's levels, as always. There's different types of narcissists. You know what I'm saying? There can be the aspect of sociopathic. You know what I mean? Like there's different types. Dismissive, avoidant. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read the definition, Gilbert. I just Googled it, right? Dismissive, avoidant attachment is a term for when someone tries to avoid emotional connection, attachment, and closeness to other people. A person with dismissive, avoidant attachment usually doesn't pursue romantic relationships and may actively avoid them. So with that being said, Gilbert, I would have to say, based on my experience, I would say they aren't mutually exclusive. I would say that someone who was like dismissive, avoidant, they could potentially be a narcissist, but you could also just be dismissive, avoidant without the presence of that. and my personal experience, and always keep in mind that I can only speak, you know what I mean, on my experience, right? Let me give you all a little more light so you can see me. So you can see me a little better. There you go. So as far as I'm concerned, like, they're kind of two different phenomena, because where by definition it looks like dismissive avoidant, they're just looking to avoid attachment altogether, right? They're looking to avoid the possibility of any type of emotional connection, any type of romantic attachment. Whereas a narcissist, they're looking for supply. In my experience, supply is what drives what someone with narcissistic personality disorder is about. Like, that's what it is for them, supply, and supply for different reasons. So I would say someone who is dismissive, avoidant could possibly be a narcissist, but maybe not. So that's how I would answer that. I appreciate you, Gilbert. Shoot another one if you got another one. I'm here. Um, Sis, Tiff Chanel, who I got for the game. I don't necessarily have a dog in the fight. I just always like it to be competitive, but I'm definitely going to give it to the Vikings. The Vikings are definitely probably going to pull through. Justin Fields been, looking iffy lately, the quarterback on the Bears. But we're going to see, though, any given Sunday or Monday, you never know what could happen. But we definitely, I'm going to say Josh Dobbs been doing his thing. So we're going to go with the Vikings tonight, and we'll see if I'm right or wrong. You can let me know if you got a dog in the fight as well. Everybody who's just now joining the chat, much appreciation, much respect for you for pulling up. If you have any questions at all, I'm here. Go ahead and throw it in the chat. But much love and respect to everyone who came through to show some love, and I really do appreciate it. And this is the first of many, so I'm just getting the kinks out. You know what I mean? But we here and we just vibing. You know what I mean? I have a question for all of you. You can either put a 1 in the chat or a 2 in the chat. Who in the chat has to report to work tomorrow? Like, who has to go to work? I'm out of the office tomorrow. You feel me? And I appreciate everybody. I know it was a little bit last minute, but I kind of just had the inclination to do it. Just wanted to get the feel for it. So yeah, throw a 1 in the chat if you have to be at work or in the office tomorrow. You could throw a 2 in the chat if you like me and you off. Let me know. I appreciate the thumbs up too coming in. I appreciate those likes too. Much respect. Appreciate that. And if you all shoot some questions as if I was shooting a video, we'll get into it. Mocha7, I see you. I see you, and I appreciate you. Cortiana, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You always show me love in the comment section too as well, Mocha. You always coming through, so I appreciate you all making the time. You know what I mean? I'm here. If you're just now joining and you didn't catch it, go ahead and take this opportunity to ask me any questions if you have any. We can go back and forth, and then I'll kind of just build on that. So this is a little different than just me recording a video. It's like if you have something in particular, you know what I mean, that you want to ask me and that you would like my point of view about, and it doesn't even necessarily need to be relationship based. I'm a lifestyle based channel. I'm into a lot of different things. And I love to interact and like engage with people and learn from different types of people. So let's get into it. Team, no days off, all work and no play doh. Court, all work and no play doh. Like, come on. You got to get some kind of time off, for real. Team, no days off. I see how y'all living. Y'all providers and breadwinners, making it happen for real. I salute that and respect that too. But I'm trying to be able to kick my feet up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to come to a place where my money makes me money. I want to be in that place as an American where I'm making money when I'm sleeping. My eyes are closed like this. You understand me? Ching ching. However, fun fact, I'm definitely not a money monster though. I am a woman of abundance. I like beautiful things. I like good energy, good vibes. I want the opportunity so much to experience the very best of everything before, you know what I mean, it's time for me to go to God. Before it's time for me to make my way up out of here, I definitely want to live that life. I want to be able to look out for people. I want to be able to do for my family. I want to be able to lay a foundation for people that aren't even born yet. So that's what I'm on. Okay, okay. Entrepreneurial spirit. I see you. I see you. And looking to educate yourself. Very dope. I definitely respect that and salute that. Real estate, Airbnb, doing your thing. But yeah, I got you, Gilbert. One step at a time. It's about progress, not perfection. You know what I mean? Being vulnerable sometimes can be hard, especially when you're just becoming familiar and you're just finding your way. But I assure you that it's all love in here. Any disrespect in here will be summarily dismissed. We're not tolerating that whatsoever. This is a judgment-free zone where we can all just feel free to be heard. And you don't necessarily need to give the details. If you just have a specific question that you would like to ask, feel free to do that. And you could always email me or hit me in a DM on my Instagram. Anyone who doesn't have that, that is worthy XIIXII on Instagram. You can always DM me. I do my absolute best to reply to comments and to like show you all love because I don't take none of it for granted. Cortiana, you going to school in the Bay or in Cali? Is that where you'll be attending school? Is it more like online type vibes? Or will you actually have to be in the classroom? So, Court, that's an excellent question. Thank you so much. I'm actually in aviation. I work in the corporate office in aviation. So that's what I do. So I work with aircrafts and I've loved like planes since I was a little girl. So I enjoy it. I'm in one of those very rare spaces in life where I enjoy what I do. Like I had to work to get there. It's extremely competitive. It is kind of like once you reach the corporate levels in aviation, it's more about who you know sometimes. And obviously, being knowledgeable and being capable is important. But you can know as much as the next person, but if you don't have the right contacts, then it'll be a lot harder for you to get your foot in the door. So I'm in a season right now where I have my hands in things that I actually enjoy and that actually give me confidence and make me happy and make me feel good. So that's always the best. But yeah, so for those of you who just joined the chat, um, we were talking about dismissive avoidance. And Gilbert, who's also in the chat with us, he asked an excellent question. He asked me if like what my opinion was as far as narcissistic personality disorder and just dismissive avoidant. And I had went ahead and Googled the definition, and it basically, just to sum it up, it was someone who avoids emotional connection, if you're unaware, or avoids romantic connection, period. And based on my experience, you could, I would say you could possibly be narcissistic and you were just being manipulative, but while the actual intimacy aspect of relationships and the romantic aspect in the traditional sense as we know it, right? That's not what narcissists are doing anyway. They're just performing the whole time. So it actually, like I said, it piqued my interest a lot. It's going to be one of those things that I kind of think about. So Gilbert, I appreciate you for bringing that up because I love to be provoked. I love things that make me think. So I'll definitely like continue to educate myself on that, just, so I'm more knowledgeable. And it may possibly be inspiration for a video. And Gilbert, I'll definitely shout you out. You know what I mean? Trust. And I won't forget. I'll definitely shout you out if in the foreseeable future I end up making that video. But yeah, narcissists, they're just looking to manipulate. Like and obviously we know they're very surface level. Like narcissists don't have the ability to go to distance, or they're not looking to, you know what I mean, be vulnerable whatsoever. They're not willing to show who they are. I don't even feel like narcissists most times are connected to who they are. They're so busy shape shifting and like posing and pretending. They're not sure of themselves in any way or connected to their true selves. So, I mean, I don't know, that's deep. I feel like if you're dismissive, avoidant by definition, you're avoiding emotional and romantic connection. But to me, narcissists are predators. Like there should be a register. I be making that joke. But to me, narc should be on some type of registry or something. Like if we can prove it and we know you out here, like you should have to register like these other offenders do. That's just my opinion for real. So yeah, Cortiana, I see your comment. You'll be partial. So you'll be full-time state worker. I work for the department. That's excellent. Department of Rehabilitation. So that's what's up. It's very cool. It's very cool. You got a lot going on. Your hands are full. For sure. Your hands are full. And Tiff, what you laughing at? What you laughing at, bruh? What you laughing at? But yeah, I like the vibe of this right here. I'm gonna be ready for y'all next time. I'm gonna have some music queued up. Like I wasn't sure how many of you would be able to make it. So I'm grateful for everybody that is here. Cause I was not sure. It was a little last minute. But I just decided, you know what, let me see who would want to fall through. And I'm just adjusting this light over here to see if I can get y'all a little bit more light. All right, Gilbert, I see you in the comments. So I would say, based on my experience, and again, you'll hear me say this all the time, it's levels to it, right? And Tiff, I see you too. We need all types of registries. Word up. Word up. For sure. I definitely agree with that. It will hold people a lot more accountable to their actions. And I feel like it would prevent people from being so open and just ready to like go bad and like prey on people if they knew they had to be accountable to their actions and it was going to be harder for them to hide. Right. So, Gilbert, I was going to say to you, a 6 month love bombing is deep. Usually they don't, based on my experience, and obviously, again, there's levels, they don't have that much energy to give. But what I would venture to say, and again, I'm not looking to trigger you in any way or speak out of turn about the situation, but I would venture to say they probably had an abundant like supply garage, because a 6 month love bombing, that's a lot. That's a lot of time of pretending and performing. That's deep. 6 months is a very long time to be pretending with someone. And like Gilbert, I would want to ask you, like, so in hindsight and looking back on it now and having a lot more understanding about the situation that you were in, right? Did you ever recognize any like red flag within that time, or was there anything? And you don't even necessarily have to say what it was that you experienced, but did you notice something about the situation that was off? Was it ever anything that made you feel uncomfortable, or made you question what was going on in that 6 months? All right, Cortiana, having NPD and having NPD traits are different. That is absolutely correct. When you're diagnosed with NPD, you have the personality disorder with 5 or more of the symptoms. If you just have NPD traits, it's easier to hide. So yeah, I definitely don't disagree. I don't pretend to be a clinical professional. I just be speaking based on my experience. And I would also venture to say we all have narcissistic qualities and certain tendencies, but that is not what the issue is. It's what you do with them and how balanced you are and how level you are. And if you have any empathy whatsoever, if you ever have an awareness of how the things that you're doing are affecting the people around you, that's not the same thing. You know what I mean? So I like to make that clear too. Like nobody's perfect. We're all human, but it's how we let certain things drive our decisions, and if our misery likes company, and if we're going around preying on people, and if we're deliberately doing things to try to hurt people, then that's not the same thing as just having a characteristic. Sometimes we can be a little vain, sometimes we may look in the mirror too long, sometimes we can all be a little selfish, you know what I mean? Sometimes we make mistakes in the direction of the people that we love, but I call that human. It's a difference between a mistake and a betrayal. Okay, so also avoidant personality isn't just with NPD, it's shown in numerous other mental and personality disorders across the board. Okay, word. So that makes sense. That makes sense and that tracks. based on the Google definition that I saw. And what I was saying to Gilbert was I didn't feel, based on the definition, that they were mutually exclusive to one another. You could be one or the other. And Cortiana, me and you talked about it briefly and touched on it in the comment section of one of my videos. Like mental illness and disorders, I like to try to choose my words carefully, which if you all notice when I'm making my videos and I'm talking about certain things, I tend to say narcissistic or toxic because, again, I want to be respectful for everyone that's been impacted. And, making content on YouTube can eventually have a reach. And you never know where it's going to land. So I don't ever like to disrespect anybody's experience with it or pretend like I am the end all be all alpha omega and I just know. I tend to say toxic or narcissistic, but mental disorders can be extremely hard to diagnose and to pinpoint. So I just try to choose my words wisely, but also speak real and be honest and do justice and allow people to feel seen and heard. You know what I mean? Like, and just show love to people and not dismiss or belittle anybody because it's real. It's a real thing. And if you've never experienced it or seen it up close or been intimately, and when I say intimately, I don't necessarily mean romantic or sexually, but if you've never been intimately connected to someone who, yeah, you would think somebody was making it up. Like you would think somebody was crazy, and you would just think somebody was codependent and they were in a relationship that they were afraid to leave. But it's deeper than that. It's you're literally in harm's way because when you're, I've said this to my sister before, you're dealing with somebody who has a ceiling and no floor. If you have morals, if you have boundaries, if you have any ounce of empathy at all within yourself, there's going to be certain places that you're just not willing to go in order to hurt other people. In my experience, a narcissist will hurt themselves to hurt you, to try to ruin you and to finish you. And that's deep to me. They'll put themselves in hard way. They'll burn a house down while they're in it if it means that it's going to ruin you. So that's next level to me. All right, Gilbert. To be honest, no, I was blind by the woman with the red dress. I feel you. I feel like I understand exactly what it is that you mean, and that's the purpose of the love bomb. And that's why I always say it's like a drug. Like it's like a drug. Okay. So you were looking to turn your experience into something positive and educate yourself more about it. If someone in your family that's close to you, is borderline personality, and you wanted to know more about it, wanted to be able to maybe better communicate with that person or to help someone else or just to arm yourself with knowledge, like that's what it's all about. Taking the things that we go through and using it to make you better. That's awesome. Mocha, if you still in here, you quiet. I see you. I ain't so big that you could hide in the chat. Share of yourself. Say what's up. You might be the type of person who just likes to observe. Like you seem like you like to play the background. Like you just be cooling. You just be back there being cool, like how you be cool, huh? Yeah. I really do appreciate you all for pulling up. Y'all know how to make a woman happy for real. I definitely want to build community and make this a regular thing. And I want to be able to create an environment where people can share themselves because some people, like, you got to keep in mind, like, I feel like since the pandemic happened, the world changed. A lot of people are working remotely and going to school remotely, like they're doing it from home. And I'm a classic woman. I'm old school. Like I'm the type of person, like I'll still sit down and write a letter and send it to somebody. Like I like the ritual of it and I like that correspondence. And I feel like as much like, and I love gadgets too. Like as much as I'm happy about the advancements of the world, I don't want to lose myself in it. Like I don't want to lose like I said, the ability to do certain things, and I feel like the connection between people gets lost the more some of these technological advancements happen. So that's just my opinion. I feel like they all have their place, but between like being able to work from home and DoorDash and the fact that we can order our groceries, we can get our food delivered, Amazon is coming the same day. Like I'm ordering things from Amazon. Now I'm in Vegas. You all know I'm on the West Coast. Like I can order things and it's on my doorstep that same day. So because of that, we're kind of losing that connection to each other. We're like socially awkward. You can't just be out in public and just say hello to somebody. Like people get like defensive. You kind of gotta like watch yourself, constantly watch your surroundings. So I want to build a space where people who may not necessarily have a lot of friends, or they had some negative experiences so they don't necessarily feel comfortable. I want people to be able to know that you know the lifers and the loved ones are going to be in the chat on a certain day of week, and we can come in and we can fellowship. You can make your meal. You can within reason have a couple glasses of wine or something, vibe out. We'll keep you company while you studying, while you cleaning, and just you can speak your piece. It's important to feel heard. I feel like a lot of negative things and dark things happen in the world because when it really boils down to it, people want to be heard, they want to be seen, and they want to be loved, and just want validation, and not in a negative way or in a thirsty way, but that's human connection. Like we weren't meant to be alone. We weren't built to just constantly be alone. All right, Mocha, I see you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, Court, you said you always wanted to understand your mom better and figure out, why she was depressed. And after dating someone with NPD, like it kind of piqued your interest. So, what I would like to ask you, because I enjoy the opportunity to ask questions to someone who was like formally educated and who knows more than me, is has it been proven, or has it been proven scientifically or biologically that depression can be chemical? Is it hereditary? Can it be passed down? Or is it neurological? Because I obviously know there's a difference between like being clinically depressed and having the blues. Everybody in this chat has experienced, having the blues before. Like you had a bad day, your energy's low, you go through a breakup or something like that. Maybe something bad happens, you lose someone that you love, anything like your car breaks down, right? And that's your independence. So that's like the blues to me. But I would never want to diminish or, like I said, minimize someone's feelings if they were truly depressed and they were kind of in a darkness and didn't know how to find their way out and they had lost hope. So yeah, again, Court, is progress, not perfection. If my email is definitely not going to change. If you ever want to do that, you know what I mean, you definitely can, just as a form of expression, just a way of being able to express yourself. Like I said, just getting it out like is healthy. I think that's like half of the weight that we carry. Like we keep everything bottled in, and social media has us feeling like we always gotta be upright. Like we always gotta be upright. I believe in, you know what I mean? How can I put it? I believe in, being strong, but I also believe in asking for help too. And I've had to do it. And I'm sure the time is going to come again where I'll need to do it. I definitely think it's important, and knowing when to be obedient. I feel like obedience and gratitude in life are two like lost arts and two like lost characteristics and ingredients that we need to have. Not focusing so much on what we think we want, but being grateful and humbled by the things that we already have. Like just being able bodied, being able to move under your own power. I think about that. Like if you couldn't tell, I'm kind of a deep thinker. I'm not really big on small talk just for the sake of small talk. I like to really go there because I want to learn and I want to understand so much. And when you start to, it's cliche, like, but when you think about, people that don't have the capability, I mean, look at what I'm doing. Like, I'm able to connect with people and like just share myself and just really be authentically myself. And like I said, it's there's countries where you can't worship out loud. You can't, if you believe in God, you can't praise God. If you don't, you may not be able to say that you don't in some places. So just little things like that that aren't so little, kind of keep things in perspective for me. That's how I continue to prop myself up, even when if my energy gets low or I have a bad day. Like, I just try to stay focused, not so much on what I think I want, but just being grateful. Gratitude is extremely important. So yeah, I'm just reading through your comment of what you said. If you're raised in a home with narcissist parents or other family members, it can be learned, especially before the. So it can be. Okay, so depression can be hereditary, or it can also be a learned behavior. So what I was asking about was if depression was more chemical or if it's something that can be passed down. I definitely feel like narcissism, I feel like that's a learned behavior, or it can be based on some type of trauma that you experience. I'm definitely considering delicately and with respect making a video about that, how sometimes the abused can become the abuser. Like, that's a real thing. So yeah, I'm thinking about making a video on that for sure. Like, from a place of respect, but I would have to kind of get myself together and make sure I was educated on the topic for sure. But I would definitely want to do that. And I'm the type of person, I like to allow life experiences that I have, good, bad, or indifferent, to influence me to like help somebody else or to influence somebody else to do better. So I would never, as much as possible, want to like hurt somebody else based on something else that I went through, for sure. Also, just for my curiosity, I'm gonna be nosy a little bit with y'all. We interacting, we vibing, and I'm gonna remember y'all. Y'all, OG, y'all the first. You all are the first live, so I appreciate it. Let me know what city and state you're in. Like I said, you ain't gotta don't put your address in the chat. Don't do that. Don't put your address in the chat. But let me know, what city and state you're in, just so I can kind of know to reach and know where everybody is located and stuff like that. And obviously, everything is an ask. We ain't making no demands in here. I don't got nothing but respect. You don't necessarily have to if you don't want to. I'm just looking to connect with you all, for real. Okay, word. Minnesota. That's definitely a place that I've never been. Is there snow on the ground right now? Gilbert, is there snow? It's already snowing out there? It gotta be. I mean, it's almost Christmas, I would imagine. Y'all, Minnesota gets sub-zero temperatures. Okay. I don't even know how to dress in a situation like that. Mm. All right, Cortiana, I see you. Some people are born with it. It can be many reasons why. Word. That's like, you gotta plan your day early when you are in inclement weather like that, Gilbert. Like, you gotta low key, you gotta have that remote start. Like, you gotta be able to start the car. So my family's originally from the Midwest, and my father is still there. And he told me a story not too long ago, last cold weather season, about how he was unable to get his car door open. Like, he had to get an extension cord, he had to plug up a hair dryer, and he had to stand there and like melt the door around the door to get the door to open. And he kind of had to like, he had the driver's side door open, but the passenger side wouldn't open. So he kind of had to, from the inside, after he was able to heat it up, like he had to push it open. That's how cold it got. You all excuse me. We gotta, get the hydration in. You know, gotta do that. I will encourage you all to do this and hydrate. Hydrate, baby. Sac. Y'all be getting the rain out there in Sac? Puerto Rico, Boricua. Hey, no doubt. No doubt. I ain't never been to Puerto Rico yet either. I definitely want to go catch them vibes. I definitely want to do that someday. For sure. And correct me if I'm wrong, that's technically US. And although I do have my passport, y'all don't need it to go to Puerto Rico, you did. So I need to be doing that. Let's go, bro. Let's go. We in here. Memphis, I see you. I see you, Mocha. I'm gonna start calling you Memphis Mocha. Low key, low key. It's the quiet ones you gotta watch. For sure. You ain't fooling me at all. You're not fooling me whatsoever. You prefer warmer weather. Yeah, it's nice. I definitely I like the heat. Like I can take it. Like I kind of like the feeling of the heat on my skin. I much prefer that than cold weather. Like to me, cold weather can be debilitating. And out here in Vegas where I'm at, when the sun is still out and it's late, like sometimes in the summer it's still hot at like 10 o'clock at night. It's hot at 11 o'clock at night, like you out in the Vegas streets and you walking around and you outside. You outside, it's cold out here. Or excuse me, it's still hot outside, even though the sun is going down and everything. So I can't imagine. And I feel like I've been living in warm weather for so long. I don't know if my body can handle it. I don't know if my body can handle like cold weather like that. But I would definitely visit for sure. But living that's something different. But I would visit anywhere. I would come anywhere. U.S. territory, good food, warm people. It's good. You had me at good food, warm people, and beautiful landscapes as well. Man, that's love. That's beautiful. Definitely want to experience that. I will. Let's manifest that. Let's declare that. I will. We will experience that for sure. Gilbert, when's the last time you've been home for real? And Cortiana, are you originally from Sacramento area? Mocha, are you originally from Memphis originally? And I know where you from. I know where you from, bro. One humble. Y'all showing love. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me too. I appreciate that. I ain't gonna be one of them people that's dummy annoying about it. And I'm gonna be constantly asking y'all. Cause I feel like at the end of the day, when people really mess with it, they're gonna hit that like anyway. They gonna do that. But yeah, feel free to tap that like for me. I appreciate it. 2017, that's not too long. But if you still got family there, I'd imagine that you know what I mean, you definitely want to do that and miss them and miss all those beautiful people and good food and fellowship and all that. For sure. Unfortunately. Yeah, all right, Courtney. Unfortunately, LOL. Unfortunately. Cold blooded. So yeah, I definitely want to set the standard going forward. Whenever um, I reach out for these lives, I'll definitely look to do it a lot more in advance. And I would like to perhaps like have a topic that I want to discuss so you all kind of have a baseline or know what it is I want to talk about. Because I would like to have an opportunity to speak live on certain subjects, and then we can kind of just vibe with each other based on that. I'm definitely enjoying, kind of just asking you all questions and getting to know you. Like I said, I really enjoy learning and vibing with different types of people that I may not necessarily be able to meet in my day-to-day life. I'm one of those people, I feel like I could speak to anybody because I don't think I'm above or beneath anybody. So as long as I feel comfortable to do so, like I could chop it up with anybody. Court, what you got? What's your question? So yeah, I'm gonna have myself together the next time. I'm gonna give you all a lot more notice. I may even drop a poll to find out, if there's certain topics in particular that you would want, me to talk about. And then we'll kind of go from there. If you're just now jumping in the chat, good evening. What's up? What's going on? How you doing? And yeah, say what's up if you're just not coming in. Okay. So about the nails, I mean, I don't want to bore anybody, so I'm gonna just keep it simple for you. But Mocha, what you saying yes to? But about the nails, I don't know. First of all, I'm strange. Like I'm a strange individual. Anything that a lot of people do, I tend not to. I don't know what it is about me. I don't think I'm necessarily a rebellious person, but I just am not about doing or being exactly like anybody else just because of that. So with that being said, because of the field of work that I was in, I really couldn't get my nails done. And then when I could, it came to a point where it was like because of the nature of what I was doing. So I've been in aviation for years, but I have, as of the recent years, made my way to the corporate office, right? So I was actually working, in the mechanic shop where the aircrafts are being repaired. So it was a lot of lifting, hauling, pushing, pulling, and I I would, keep my hands together just for like hygiene purposes and so they looked good, but I wasn't about going to, spend the money to get my nails done because, they break it. It just seemed like it was crazy. So eventually once I started to do it, it was like, okay, first I would get the manicure and then I would just get my pinkies done. Then eventually after that, I started to get the index finger done. Then after that, I started to add the thumb just for more splashes of color. And like I said, even on my middle and my index finger, usually I do get like some type of foil or some type of design on them. But because I cracked one, then I kind of just clipped them all down so they could grow back together. So usually the way you'll see it is they'll all be like the length like this, like my pinky and my ring. They'll all be long, but these will just have like some type of foil or some type of design on them. But like I said, they're just short right now because I broke them. But yeah, and it's like a conversation starter. Everywhere I go, like I'm in Target holding all my stuff because I'm stubborn and don't want to get a basket. You go in Target for two things, you come out with 15, right? So like I'm holding all my stuff in Target or wherever, whenever people notice, people tend to ask me, or they'll look at me kind of crazy, like I'm the crazy lady who just let her nails go bad and she don't ever do them. But then when I lift up my other hand and they see that the other one is exactly like it, then they're like, okay, she crazy on purpose. So I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'm crazy on purpose. So that's basically what it's just, I don't know. It's something different. And it's a conversation starter. And I don't know. I like the duality. Like I feel like it matches my personality. I'm definitely all woman. I'm definitely in touch with my femininity and I love being a woman, but I'm also the type of woman like I'm active. I like to push, I like to pull, I like to climb. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. Like I'm an active person. Like I'm game for different things. You know what I mean? So it just matches my personality. All not all super dainty and not, but all woman 100% and love it about myself. And I'm, stepping more and more into that all the time as I grow. All right, Mocha, I see you. I ain't forgot about you. Let me see. You asked if have I done any videos on toxic female friends. I have not. If you want me to cover that, I will. Um, I can get with you in the comment section or we can just chop it up about it just so I can pick your mind about it a little bit. But absolutely, I can definitely do that. The term, but I definitely understand like frenemies. I understand like the concept of somebody who you think you're supposed to be cool with, you should be able to share certain things with, but then they throw it up in your face later, or they talking about you behind your back for real but smiling in your face, or female friends who actually want your dude, like they sitting on your couch interacting with you, and maybe your dude is there, like he walking around and they plotting on him, and as soon as y'all break up or y'all get into an argue, like craziness. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but yeah, like I got sisters and I got female cousins, I got homies, I got so yeah, co-workers, all that. So I haven't done one yet, but yeah, as a woman, that's something I could definitely make a video about. I don't know how many people would actually want to see it, or how far the reach would be with that, but I could definitely like touch on that and cover that in the video for sure. Or even if I can use this for one of the questions on my question and answer, and I can kind of just get into it, talk about my experience on it, and like different things that you could look out for. But yeah, it's cold blooded. Or another thing, I could just make that an audio files episode. Like I could talk about that on my audio pod. But for sure, just frenemies in general, like just how as a community sometimes we can be vindictive that way. Like we could be, and I say we just because I don't ever want to try to set myself apart from people like I'm better than anybody, but like just how sometimes as women, instead of, you know what I'm saying, helping a queen fix her crown, like sometimes we come for each other, like we down each other instead of helping each other. Sometimes women can be, yeah, it can really go there. All right, Gilbert, I see you, and I'm loving the questions. Y'all can keep them coming too. So yeah, we can definitely talk about it, Mocha. If you want to go a little deeper, you got a specific question. Actually, we gonna do a little story time. Just give me a second. I'm gonna touch on something, but I'm gonna kind of keep it generic out of respect for other parties involved. So Gilbert asked a question that I'm definitely interested in. What is my thought on dating apps? Tinder, Bumble, etc. To me, they don't work. I try them all, but good relationship and good interactions have been in person for me that tend to go better. So I can't do it. I I can't do it. Um it so one of the things that I'm learning more and more about myself is I intuit my way through life. Like, and this ain't got nothing to do with men, woman, young, old, none of that. I've always been this way. I didn't understand what it was, Mocha. I see you. I got you. I didn't understand what it was or how to articulate it, but I understand now. I know myself now. You understand me? I intuit my way through life. Don't be retracting your message. I already it's floating around in cyberspace. I already saw it. But I intuit my way through life. So with that being said, I need the opportunity to be in your energy. And I feel like social media has given people a way of being something that they're not sometimes. Like online, you can be whatever you want to be. And I think authenticity is everything. And this is like false advertisement. If you were watching a commercial on TV and a company portrayed itself to be this, or a restaurant portrayed itself to be this, and then you got dressed, got your money together, and you pulled up to that restaurant and they weren't selling the food that they advertised, or we didn't seen it plenty of times. That burger leaning to the side is dry, bro. The patty is not a quarter pound. Like it is, this ain't what you showed me on television, and it doesn't feel good. I feel like people have become socially awkward. They're not self-assured. And then that starts like, as you're younger, that's, depending on how you're loved up on when you're a kid and what's ingrained in you and how you're raised. I intuit my way through life. So I need to be in your energy. I need to be able to look into your windows. I need to be able to look into your eyes. I want to see how you interact with other people, because that's big for me. If we're at a restaurant together and you're rude to somebody that's serving, I'm turned off. I don't like that. That's not cool to me. So I can't do it. Now, what I would be able to do is, as you can see, a situation like this, because I can definitely be outgoing and I can be charming and I can be light and I can be fun. And even though I know I'm not perfect, everybody has insecurities. I love myself enough to be good where I am, but then work on the things that I can. And I want to love on other people. Like I want other people to feel confident about themselves and know that this body that we're in, it's just a vehicle. That's all it is. What we look like and how much money we have and all that is just things, and it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't define us. It's nice to have those things, but to me, character and substance and how you treat other people and how you love on yourself and how you stand on what you believe in, those are the type of things that I care about. Your leadership qualities, are you the same type of person around different people? Meaning, do you treat people with dignity and respect no matter what? And I want to see that. I just I can make friends with people and connect with people and then build from there, just like we doing right now. Like this is big to me, Carlotta. I see you. I got you. That's big to me. Like this is a big deal to me. But to be able to date, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. And maybe I'm traumatized a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm traumatized a little bit just based on relationship experience, but I definitely want to be able to be around you. And I'm one of them old school cliche people. I'd rather us start off as friends and then it kind of go from there and see what it can be. I feel like you're a lot more likely to be loyal and upstanding and respectable and protective of your friend than just someone that you quote unquote love or have romantic feelings for. Just based on my experience. And social media just allows you to hide too much. It allows you to hide too much. I be watching certain TV shows and where you, for example, I'm very intrigued by those TV shows. I don't know if y'all ever seen them, but like the 90-Day Fiance and like these prison pen pals, how these women and men are pen pals to these people that are like behind bars. They ain't never been in their energy. They ain't never seen them, ain't never met them, ain't never smelled them. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm always ready to be wrong, but I ain't passing judgment on nobody. But for me personally, I want Gilbert. I want to be around you. Um, I want to see how your energy feels because I'm one of those people that I trust my. I'm learning more and more to trust my gut. Let me know in the comment section. Have you ever been somewhere and you're just like, I can't be here. I don't know why. I don't know what's. I don't care, but I'm out. I'm that type of person. And sometimes, people be hiding behind these screens for real. They different people behind these screens for real. And I ain't saying that's everybody. I'm not saying that it's impossible to find love. And it ain't nothing is impossible in the world. But for me, I need to be I need to be around you. I need to be able to look in your eyes. I need to be able to like interact with you on some type of level. Um, and that's just my preference. I like to meet people organically. Plus, I'm very big on energy and like things happening by chance and like just the natural order of things. I'm the type of person, I'm learning more and more in life to move by assignment. I look to attract the things that I want. I'm ready to be patient. I'm ready um to be still. I'm ready to be still. But I obviously at the same time, you can't meet somebody if you're not socializing. Like you ain't gonna be able to meet, a person that you want to connect with and build with if you never leave the house, you never go anywhere. If you So I understand that too. But like I said, I guess I'm just old school. Maybe I just want to meet somebody at Target. I don't know. I just want to meet somebody in traffic. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm scared. I'm scared, girl. I'm a weenie. Uh, I'm scared you might be trying to set me up. People on dating apps be criminals. I'll be watching the first 48. Oh yeah, y'all. Fun fact, I'm very big on that. Whodunits and documentaries. I love, 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 love documentaries. Whodunits, why done Dateline, first 48, 48 hours, stuff like that. And I feel like that'll be one of them situations where you pull up in one of them dating apps or something like that to somebody and it's a setup. Like they try to rob you and maim you or something, which obviously you can just meet somebody in a public place or a coffee shop, but I'm just saying. So yeah, you all let me know too. And like again, this is no judgment. There is no right or wrong. I ain't better than nobody, bro. I don't have the answers. I just Carlotta, I I will do one-on-ones. I will do one-on-ones at least for the foreseeable future. I'm in the process of setting up a Candly account so that, and I haven't announced it on my channel, but you're here. I'm setting up a Candly account so people who want to book me like at maybe 30-minute increments, they can do that. And we can in private and offline and with confidence and with dignity and respect fellowship. I consider myself to be a spiritual collaborator. I'm not, like I said, a clinical professional or anything like that. But to me, there's something to be said for life experience. And um, if you're appointed, you're appointed. You know what I mean? If you have the capability of doing something, then you should do that, especially if you're looking to do it for your good, for someone's good. Like if you want to use your intellect or your ability to connect for good. I believe in gifts. I believe in, the universe and God putting us in positions to be able to help people. So 100%, I would do it. Carlotta, feel free to shoot me an email to askbizlifestyle@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram, worthy XIIXII, and we can set that up for sure. So Mocha, yes, backstabbers. I've had family members backstab me, which I think that's deep and that's crazy because you know where the bodies is buried. You know all my deepest, darkest secrets. Like, if you a close family member, I've been done in. I didn't have families talking bad about me behind my back. And like been in a situation where people was treating me weird and I didn't know why. And then after the fact, it's because it's almost like a smear campaign. Like you got somebody talking about you, and then you got weak-minded people who are like listening and they haven't even gotten your side about a situation, or they don't even like they don't give you the benefit of the doubt based on your track record, based on your character, based on your interaction with them. Some people just, filthy like that. Like that's just what it is. But I've been through that before, for sure. And not even that long ago. It's people right now in the world that don't like you because of something somebody else said. It don't even have nothing to do with you. You may not have even been there, but there's people who don't like you because of someone else. That's facts. And I take it as a compliment because to me, give me the benefit of the doubt. And if you didn't hear me say it out of my mouth, I didn't say it. And that's how I'm gonna treat you. I'm the type of person, well, if so and so is not here to defend themselves, and I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. That's not my business. Plus, again, people don't tell the whole story. Sometimes people like to play the victim, so they'll only tell a part of a story, just to curry favor with you, but they're not telling what they did or the part that they had to play. I consider it to be a red flag with people whenever everything that happens, they are constantly blaming somebody else. Like, I don't believe in talking about exes. Like when I enter a new romantic situation, I don't like to get into that. But if it was ever to come up, I ain't ever gonna be the type to just be like, oh, he did it, or so and so this happened, and oh my gosh, she did this, and why did like I'm not gonna be on some never willing to take responsibility for nothing that happened. Obviously, it takes two. You know what I mean? So I try to look at stuff like that so I can stay grounded and stay connected, so I can stay as close to my higher self as possible. And I'm always in a position to make positive changes because I'm willing to accept that I always got something I can work on, for sure. That's how I try to move through life for real. But yeah, of course, yeah, that cattiness is, and that's the thing. Like, just I don't know. That's insecurity to me though, because I love to see people thrive. I when I see people do well, it lets me know that it's possible for me. I don't feel threatened by somebody else touching a bag or somebody else getting a promotion. It makes me happy because then I know that it can be done. Plus, I feel like the world is a better place when everybody around you is doing well. I don't want to be rich by myself. That like me and my sister be talking about, like, I don't want to have to fund everything. I don't want to like have no type of power. I'm not the type of person that like feel like I need people to be like looking up to me. It comes natural when you're sure of yourself and when you're confident and when you're a light. And I can accept that. But like I don't want to get the bag by myself. Like, let's eat together. Let's get this money together. Like, so yeah, I feel like sometimes people are insecure, or you making a move can be a reflection of what they're not doing. Like sometimes what you're doing can remind people of what they're not. And again, it's like two sides to a coin. You can either be inspired and it can light a fire under you, or you can feel vengeful or feel insecure about it. But you can't be a boss and a victim at the same time. You got to choose. You can't serve two masters. It's only going to be one or the other. And I love to see that we're like engaging with one another in the comments, and like we going back and forth like this is what it's about. This is exactly like how it should be. Everything that we go through, we can find the positive in it somewhere, especially if you made it through. I like to say everything ugly has a little beautiful, and everything beautiful has a little ugly. It's just a matter of how you choose to see things. Cortiana says she looks at women differently now, just cautious. The more beautiful people are, the more dangerous they are. I don't know. Sometimes, and I had a deep conversation with a female friend of mine who was basically telling me like beauty can be a detriment sometimes. Like people have expectations for you. You get targeted different. You get targeted, by people when you're young, when you find or when you beautiful or when you're physically attractive. Like, and I never thought of it that way. Um, so yeah, that's deep. But I feel like sometimes beautiful people be having scars for real because they deal with attention and how it comes to them and the reasons that it comes to them in a way that's different than people who are able to hide in plain sight. But at the same time, we ain't gonna write nobody off. Like, who wants somebody that somebody else don't want? You know what I mean? Being attractive is not a bad thing. Um, but I must say, I got to keep it tall for the chat. We have to accept responsibility for the part we had to play. The love bomb is cold blooded, but somewhere along the line, you know, we started to figure out that it wasn't going to work. And like, narcs and toxic people are predators. Like, there's characteristics within us that they saw that they chose us. And like I said, I'm gonna raise my hand and I'm gonna take responsibility and say, I could have left that situation way earlier than I did. Like I stayed way longer than I should have. Good evening and hello, how you doing to anyone who has just joined the chat? Throw a one in the chat and hit the like if you're just joining and tap in with us. We're just going back and forth, sharing information, answering each other's questions. So feel free to ask a question in the chat. But yeah, this world that we live in today, it is crazy. It can be scary. And I feel like technology is making it easier. It kind of goes back to what I was saying. Technology is making it easier and easier for people to hide and pretend, making fake credentials. I watched like this Dateline episode on this guy who was like scamming women. Like he had like these fake marriages and he was going around and it was basically like his profession to manipulate women out of their 401ks, out of their savings, um, having women sign him onto deeds. And while we could go back and forth about, the part that they had to play, it's like when you're looking for love or you think that you found the one, you might be willing, to take a risk and take a chance, but he was just a predator. Dude just walking around in scrubs all day. He just walking around in scrubs. Like he ain't did nothing professional, nothing medical. He ain't went to no school. He just walking around in scrubs all day playing a part. Like that's deep to me. That's deep. And it takes away from people who have really like paid the price and had made the sacrifices to be able to do that for real. But yeah, Cortiana, I don't know if I'm liking that. A narc's easy target because now that we've gone through it, we're not supposed to go around looking for the worst in people, right? So now that you've had that life experience, it's like now you know boundaries. Now what to look out for. Certain characteristics. You kind of would perhaps kind of pump the brakes and take the time a little bit. And when you see those red flags, don't let them be orange in your eyes. Like, no, I think sometimes we have a false sense of loyalty in relationships. People been talking about for years, you're a ride or die, nah. It's something to be said for being self-aware and knowing when to make your exit unapologetically. I'm the type of person, listen, I don't even want to do no bunch of talking or explaining or arguing or none of that. If I see it's time to go, that's just what it is. I don't need no confirmation from you. I ain't going through no phones. I'm not popping up at people's houses unannounced. I ain't doing no sting operations or none of that. Again, I'm trusting my gut more and more. And if I feel in my energy that something is wrong, I'm gone. Period. And that's all it is. So yeah, we definitely don't want to be fear-based individuals, but we definitely want to have our heads on a swivel and kind of just be looking out for the signs, communicating and making sure that we're maintaining our leverage in relationships, not just jumping out of windows, not leaning in too much. I'm a firm believer in going through the seasons with people. Oh yeah, Tiff, yo, your boy Dom, you know, I've heard him say that before. Like they ain't orange, they red. You got a bad prescription. But that thing was red, bruh. Square business. Gilbert says sometimes we have to hit that wall that makes us wake up. Absolutely. I had to many times, and not even just in romantic relationships, but just in life in general. Sometimes we got to hit that wall. And I'm glad you brought that up too, because I feel like God uses the things that we go through. God doesn't punish us. I ain't gonna get too deep on that because I don't want to, offend anybody. I don't want to go too deep. We having a good time. God doesn't harm us. He does not put us in harm's way on purpose, but he will let us walk our decisions out. We have free will. He empowered us to be free thinkers. And as a result of that, we are responsible to take, the consequences of the things that we choose. I feel like when you believe in God, when you pray to God, when you look to keep them at the center of the things that you do, and you're willing to humble yourself and ask him for help, he will move. I'm living proof. I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you if it wasn't true. He will move, but he might wait till 11:59. He will let you walk out what you chose, but he's going to use that tribulation for your good. He's going to, sometimes that's what it takes. I feel like it's like a little baby. Sometimes you might like just give them a pat on their backside, right? But then you got to slap them on their thigh. Then you got to pull them by the ear. It just depends on the type of kid that you are. And sometimes this world is deep, man. We're a flesh and we get distracted and we lose sight of what's important because of our own personal needs. And this is a microwave generation of instant gratification. I think someone just said in the chat, like, we want things fast, we want things now. So we forget about the timing, the divine timing of God's will in the universe. We don't want nothing to do with that. There is a time to be a leader and to be strong and to be fierce, and there's a time to be independent, to be obedient. And you have to have the wisdom and discernment to know when to be still. And I think that's important. So yes, Gilbert, you are correct. Sometimes we do got to hit that wall. Yep. 100%. And I'm a trial and error learner. I learn by messing up and then fixing it. Like if I have a goal. So for example, like just learning YouTube, learning, like you got to mess up, and people tend to be gatekeepers. Like, I don't know if you all ever heard that saying, never meet your idol, which we're not supposed to be idolizing or coveting any woman or man, right? But we have people that have reached certain levels of success, depending on what success means to you, right? And we admire their work. We're inspired by their artistry. We enjoy their creativity. But sometimes you meet them people in person, they are not what you expected them to be. One, we shouldn't have been placing expectations on man, because man will let you down every time. That's doctrine. Two, you might have just caught him on a bad day. So with that being said, it's like some of your favorite creators, you might have been watching them for years. You might hit them up in the comments and be like, hey, check out one of my videos and give me some feedback. They may have saw it, but they don't do it. Like, and I know it's hard to reach everybody, but it might make you feel some type of way, because it's like, man, I like your videos before I even watch them. I got creators like that. Listen, I'm a student of YouTube. I didn't wake up. I ain't Beyonce. I didn't wake up like this. You know what I mean? I've been watching YouTube for a very long time, and I always wanted to do it, but I had to get myself together, mind, body, and soul to be able to do it. And I wanted to be able to do it at a high level. And when I say high level, I mean I wanted to be able to make a contribution. I'm a servant. It ain't about just numbers to me. I'm the type of person, if you do what you're supposed to do, you'll be provided for. It's not just about that, you know. I wanted to be able to find a way to use my voice to connect people and to inspire people, right? So with that being said, like, it's a lot of my favorite creators, they ain't plugging my videos. They ain't necessarily even watching them, but that's okay because God good. And I'm in the chat with y'all. Like, I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful for this. But yeah, you gotta figure stuff out on your own. You gotta, like they say, just start. Like, if you ever want to do something, you gotta just start. If you're looking to be a revolutionary, if you're looking to do something great in the world, if you're looking to make your mark, make an impact, push culture forward, sometimes you have to just do something not knowing what it is. I heard somebody say the other day, sometimes you got to jump out the plane and then, like, make the parachute as you fall. And he said it a lot sexier, like it was a lot more eloquent and put together the way he said it. But comfort is not where greatness is. It's where comfort is. It's where, you know, it's where contentment is. But somewhere along the lines, if you want to do something extraordinary, by your definition now, you have got to figure out a way to be good with being uncomfortable and letting something or someone go. You might have to give up something that used to mean everything to you and you never thought you could live life without it. You have to be ready to do it scared and do it sick and do it not feeling like it and do it when you ain't in the mood. Do it when you got to learn how to believe when everybody is telling you that you shouldn't, and when nothing but the God inside of you is telling you that you can. You got to figure out a way. Cortiana says, I'm scared of the world. I think the worst has been seeing healthy relationships on social media, female to female relationships on social media, finding myself feeling sorry for myself. You want, like, love in your life, or you want, a healthy life romantically so badly, and find your woman to spend your life with, but people are so entitled and self-centered. It's a sign of the times to me. Hello, Sam. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for pulling up. Thank you so much for joining the chat. I appreciate you. Feel free to ask a question. We're just, kind of vibing and feeding off one another. Just asking questions. This is the very first one. You know what I mean? So welcome. The very first of many. The first of many. And I'm just here. So yeah, feel free to ask away. But some days, Cortiana says, it feels almost impossible just to find somebody, quote unquote, normal, just chill in a healthy mindset. Dig, it's a sign of the times. Honestly, I don't know. I'm definitely crazy a little bit. Maybe I'm conditioned. I don't know. Maybe I'm numb. But it's not that I don't have a belief in people, because I believe in you all. Like, I believe in myself. But I guess I'm starting to become comfortable with and wrapping my mind around the fact that it's maybe supposed to be difficult to find just one person. I definitely don't know if I believe in, like, a soulmate, like how they say in movies or something, like you got a soulmate, or what they call it, twin flames. People have a twin flame. Let me drop something in the chat. And I'm just typing, y'all. Excuse me. So yeah, let me know if you believe in love at first sight or like having a soulmate. Like, is that really real? Let me know how you feel about it. I'm gonna give my take on it, but I kind of want us to go back and forth. Mocha, Mocha, Memphis, Memphis, Mocha. I promise, if you're still here, I'm not picking on you, but feel free to chime in on this. We vibing, and Mocha matters. Mocha lives matter. Cortiana said that's for Hollywood and for storybooks. Oh, you just a cynic. You just, Cortiana, you just a cynic. Excuse me, y'all. I'm hydrating. I'm hydrating. Y'all letting me just sit in here and filibuster. I don't know if you all are familiar with the term filibuster, but y'all just letting me filibuster in this chat tonight. And I love it and I'm here for it. Which basically just means I'm just running my mouth at will. Like I'm speaking my heart though. I don't want to let like past experiences take me out of I don't want to block a blessing. You know? That's it and that's all. I don't want to block a blessing. Um and I really want to move in God's will for me. I think that's where I feel the safest. That's where I feel the most at peace. I'm learning to just not like I'm punking out, but I'm just learning to be more connected to what I feel like God wants from me and being okay with that. And just being okay with that. And what's for me is for me. Nothing can stop it. Not me, not the world, not a mistake, not whatever, and whoever is for me is truly for me. So that's my vibration. That's how I'm moving. That's like the intention and the feeling that is on my heart. Whatever's for me is for me. And I'm cool with that. Not to mention there ain't no guarantees in life. I could leave out of here tomorrow. But if that's God's will for me, I accept it. And I'm gonna do my very best with this cherry chapstick in the time that I have. Amen. I'm silly, y'all. Y'all gonna learn. I'm silly. Cortiana says no, Aurelius. If it hasn't been found and hasn't been fact stamped, oh, so you one of those. You don't live in the gray areas of life. You live in the black and white. It either is or it isn't. The math has to math. 2 plus 2 has to be 4. It's absolute. And nothing more, nothing less. You one of those people. And I ain't judging you. I'm not mad at you. It's hard out here for a player. It's hard out here. For real. And I feel like sometimes when we go through when we go through toxic situations or we go through things in life that really try us, like I can honestly say I've been through things that have like shaken up not my belief system, but like has really, yeah, knocked me off my square. Like I've been in situations that have really taken me there and really caused me to like rethink and revisit the things that I believed and that I thought I knew to be true about life and about the world and about people and about myself. So It's real. It's a real thing. It's a real thing for sure. But every now and then, the universe blesses us. Life like brings you something. Excuse me. Life brings you something or someone good. Like every now and then, this life gives you a gift, and you cannot be successful if you don't show up. You have got to show up. You got to show up. No doubt. I don't disagree with you, Court. Think positively and like move through life with an open heart and an open mind, right? An open heart with an open mind, but just stay on your toes 100% and make people stand on business, make people stand on what they did, make people stand on what they said, you know? Set the standard by holding yourself to a standard. Real deal. You just go off the things that you've been through personally. That's real. That's real and that's honest. And I think that's a lot of us. That's most of us, if not all of us. For sure. But you're gonna find your person though. Like just continue to be patient and be a reflection as you are of, the things that you want. And like, keep your heart and mind open to the possibility and what it can be. And the fact that it might not come in the package that you expected. It might not. I'm learning that too. I'm learning that and I'm just speaking for me. Like when I ask God or the universe for something, I can't like try to helicopter it or I can't try to micromanage it or control it. When I ask God to bless me, I can't write the story in my own head because sometimes you miss the blessing, you miss the turn. You ever miss your exit? I did that the other day. It's the place I drive all the time and I missed my exit. I don't know if I was daydreaming, I was on autopilot. I don't know if my song was on, but I missed my exit. Sometimes you miss your exit when you write the story. So sometimes, the things that we want come in packages and in scenarios and in circumstances that we didn't anticipate originally. So just be open minded and, we take calculated risks. Fortune favors the bold. Okay. So take calculated risks. I'm going to write that in the chat for y'all. Fortune favors the bold. I believe in that for sure. Let me know if y'all have any other questions. I ain't, I'm not wearing in. I'm gonna be here for a bit longer, but we definitely knocking on 2 hours. But like I said, the next time we do this, we gonna plan this. I'm gonna have my thoughts together. Now I know how to do the audio. I wanna DJ for y'all around my house with my family at the gatherings and whatnot. I'll be DJing. Oh yeah, you could let me know that too. What type of music y'all like? I like a little bit of everything. I ain't mad at nobody, but I don't really do no country. I don't really do country. I definitely don't do that rock. Like they be that metal. I really don't deal in that. But I'm a probably 90s R&B kind of woman. I love old school. I just want to be taken away. Like I want to be taken on a journey. I like things that are heartfelt and that are soulful. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I like. So yeah, I want to play some music for y'all. Take some requests. You know, try to avoid copyright strikes. I'm gonna have to do my research on that and make sure that in my live, if like we just vibing out to it, that's not gonna cause me an issue for the platform or nothing. But yeah, I think music is big. You can kind of tell a lot about a person, like how they wear their shoes and what kind of music they listen to. You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all can let me know that too. If you still here, let me know what type of music you like, what you like to vibe out to. And if I'm the only person in the world who will listen to the same song on repeat all day and get something different from it throughout, like I'm one of those people. I could listen to a song on repeat all day. And when I say all day, I can listen to a song on repeat all day. Everybody always says that like country music they tell great stories. I've heard that too. Country music, they tell great stories. I don't disagree with that. I feel like in the spirit of like being open minded and moving through life with an open heart and an open mind, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it a chance. And I hear like obviously he's one of the bigger names. Everybody know who Garth Brooks is, even if you don't listen to his music. But I hear Garth Brooks makes like some great music and stuff like that. Tells great stories. I'm gonna try in the spirit of like stretching myself. I'm gonna try for sure. So yes, it has been a fantastic day, and this has been a highlight for me. I'd rather do something like this than like go to a club. Even though I love the idea of like getting dressed and going out and listening to some good music, having an adult beverage or three, two stepping a little bit safely and respectfully. I enjoy this because I feel like you really have an opportunity to like connect and fellowship. In the club is super loud, people touching you, don't want touching you. Drinks is $17. I'm in Vegas, okay, and it's crazy. It's crazy out here, okay. Pre-gaming and post-gaming is a must. $14 drink, you better hold that one drink all night. $17, that's deep. So yeah, I like stuff like this. I'd rather be in a room with three or four people whose mind I really enjoy and like whose perspective I'm enlightened by and people that I'm inspired by than like a bunch of people who like famous or even got a bunch of money or a bunch of people who's my favorite artist. Who was like my number one go to? I'm gonna try to answer that without even looking at my phone. But that's a great question. Who was somebody who I'm constantly listening to? Mm, 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 mm. That's a great question. This one's gonna be different a little bit, and even though like I feel like I'm more of a melodic or a sing-songy type of person. I'm gonna say J. Cole comes to mind. Like, if any of you are familiar, he's one of those artists who I don't know. I just feel like I connect to a lot of the things that he talks about and that he says, and even over time, as like his life has changed and he's going through different seasons. He obviously, he's made some money. Like I can still connect to him. He's still making music that I could relate to and that makes sense to me. And I appreciate the fact that he's well rounded. He's a writer, he's a producer, he's a performer. Like he can engineer, like he can go in the studio and for real, like make songs from start to finish, cover to cover. But J. Cole for sure. But like I said, I'm more of an R&B woman, and I feel like I be like connecting to certain songs even more than one artist in particular. But I don't know, Cole. I just love his catalog. He's one of them people. Like whenever he does a show, like I will always want to be at it, no matter how many of them I've been at. I've been to multiple J. Cole concerts, and I will continue to do that. I'm trying to give you like a R&B artist because I feel like as soon as we log off, I'm gonna think about it and I'm gonna be like, dang, I forgot to say this person because I definitely love singy songs. I love singy songs. Her is very dope. Her for sure. I love her music. It's another person who I feel like she makes a lot of music that I can connect to and that I could relate to. So her. So yeah, that's pretty good. It's one male and one female. So her is very dope. Oh, I got another one. Ari Lennox. Ari Lennox goes hard too. I don't know if you all know who Ari Lennox is. Dreamville all day, but Ari Lennox goes hard. Yeah. Oh, you think you slick, Corsiana? How old was I when I started doing that? I ain't necessarily finna tell you. Oh, I like that though. I like that. But you got caught. You got caught. I've been in aviation for like we coming up on 8. After the new year 2020, it'll be coming up on 8 years. I've been in aviation, and I started out working in the actual auto mechanic shop side by side, like with the mechanics, and I started working with tools and parts. So I ain't gonna bore y'all with that. But in the role that I was in the mechanic shop, things have to be calibrated. Parts are very closely inspected. You dealing with the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, so it's not a game. And when you're a mechanic, you can't just use whatever tools you bought from Walmart in your toolbox. Like tools have to be calibrated to a certain torque and all that. There's only certain vendors where you can purchase airplane parts from that are regulated and signed off on by the FAA. Little man 0826, I see you. I appreciate you, baby. Thank you so much for joining the chat. Even if it's just for a quick minute, I appreciate you. Show love. Feel free to drop a question. Read through the chat. We just vibing. We talking about music. We talking about relationships. We talking about style. We just vibing with each other. So tap in. I appreciate you for falling through. Make sure you tap that like for me as you come in. But so I was working, side by side with the mechanics as far as, parts, doing a lot of shipping, quality control, receiving parts in, tracking inventory base, moving parts and tools around. So that's how I started. And from there, I kind of just grew. And then I started working in the corporate field. So I moved up to the corporate office from there, and I started working with crews. I basically was crewing aircrafts and flights. Like you have to know for how many passengers, how many flight attendants. There's regulations on how long pilots can fly a plane. You have to know, just certain things, certain policies and procedures. And because they're a part of a union, you have to follow contracts. You can't send them here. If you send them here to go this, you have to give them this much time. They have to have a hotel room that's 3 stars and above. They can't be on the ground floor. They can't be next to an ice machine. Like it gets deep. So I did that for a long time, just basically building crews, front end and back end, pilots and flight attendants for actual flights. And then from there, I moved into the role where I am now, which is considered to be maintenance and planning. So basically, I just move aircrafts around. I ensure that aircrafts are in good repair. I ensure that the correct flights are on the correct types of aircrafts for where they're going. Some places need an overwater aircraft. If they're going to Mexico, they have to have aircraft insurance for this particular trip. The seat map has to be right. Livery. Um, Sometimes they want the Vegas Golden Knights plane, or they want a Raiders plane, or they want the Make-A-Wish Foundation plane with the markings on it to be on a certain. So I basically just move aircrafts around and make sure that they're getting the maintenance that they need. Just like our cars have to have an oil change, tune up, and all that at a certain time. Aircrafts need that too, and planes break a lot. I ain't trying to throw y'all off. I ain't gonna get too into that because I ain't trying to trip myself up on here. We can't be mixing church and state too much. But planes break, okay? And when they do, an airline has to be able to pivot. So that's what I'm responsible for. Just keeping aircrafts in good repair and keeping them in the sky, keeping everybody safe. So yes, that's what we doing. Let me check the score. Cause see, y'all got me so wrapped up. And I appreciate everybody in here that continue to thug it out with me. Carlotta, I don't know if you're still in here, but I want to give you a shout out and let you know I appreciate you. And I'm glad you found your way to the chat just to be able to fellowship with us. It's very cool. This is the very first of many. There will be more for sure. And we coming up on 2 hours here pretty shortly. But yeah, this is very cool. This is very cool. I definitely do appreciate it. All right, so it's Bears 9 and Vikings 3, which based on, my earlier prediction, and this happens every now and then, don't get used to it, but I was wrong. But it ain't over yet. It looks like it's still going. But yeah, the Bears are actually finding a way to get it done. I'm a little surprised by that. I will not front for the chat. I'm a little surprised by that. And I love sports too. In case you all didn't know that. That's why from time to time you might see me reference, and I love boxing. Boxing is like my favorite thing. That's like something me and my family do together. Like that's a way for us to connect, and we all just love it. But I love sports. So you'll see me from time to time put some sports related content up. It's a lifestyle based channel. So I didn't want to, limit myself to just one thing. But, once the country is spoken, like I got to do my thing. I got to, share myself. But I love sports, boxing in particular, but basketball is like my first love. And then I enjoy football. So it looks like it's the fourth quarter. So we still got a whole fourth quarter to go. So I might be able to get myself together. We gonna see. So yeah. And then I got the difficult task of figuring out what I'm gonna have for dinner, you know? So I gotta figure that out for myself. Do I wanna just make a protein shake? I be trying to drink a protein shake almost every day. I am a non-meat eater, so I be trying to do what I can. It's important, especially ladies, it's important. Get that protein in. It helps keep the extra love off your handles. if that's a concern for you. If it ain't a concern for you, then do your thing. But I be trying to hit my proteins. So I might even just make myself a shake and then have a snack. Cause I did get a little workout in before I jumped in front of the camera with y'all. So I had a cool little high protein meal earlier. But I'm feeling like coming up soon it's gonna be time for something else. So I'm gonna figure that out too. Very productive day. Straighten up around the house a little bit. I always try to do something, to love on my household, just to show appreciation, and help to set the vibe for my home, make the home beautiful. You got to maintain that. So straighten up around the house a little bit. Did a little laundry today. Wipe some things down. Wash a couple dishes. Hit the floors a little bit. Straighten up the garage. So that's what I did today. It was like a relaxing, productive day, which is kind of like my favorite because it's like you doing things that you need to do, but at the same time, I'm enjoying the comforts of my home and, loving on my home with respect, you know, in the process, and then just chilling. Like I be taking little breaks, watch a program, take a little break and watch a program, you know. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling like as I hit the 2 hour mark, we kind of gonna get ready to wrap it up. But like I said, I just want to take this time to like sincerely, like from a real place, like thank everybody who peeked their head in, the people who stayed, like Cortiana, like Mocha. I want to thank y'all, Tiff, like making contributions in the chat. Gilbert, I appreciate y'all. It's so cool. And I would like for people to understand that, like, as a content creator, sometimes, like, you be shook a little bit, like, you don't know how you're going to get received, but I know it's always going to be love, and, you got to build things up. It's going to come a time where it might be 40 people in the chat. It might be 100 people in the chat, but you build it up. But, 407, like, it's all love, and I'm thankful, and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful nonetheless. Like it ain't about the numbers. It ain't about the numbers. It's about the fellowship. So yeah, we at the 2 hour mark. So I don't want to hold y'all too long. I gotta leave y'all with something more. So as always, I like to tell y'all that I believe in you, and you make sure you continue to do the same thing. I'm grateful, and we're definitely going to do this soon. Be on the lookout in a community post. If you're not following me on Instagram, definitely check me out on Insta. I'm consistent over there, pretty good, and that's a great place to just hit me. Like if you got a quick question or you just want to grab my attention to something, definitely hit me on Insta. If you have Instagram, worthy1212, worthy XIIXII, all lowercase. That's a great place to reach me. And then also, you could just throw a comment in the chat. I try to do my best to address everybody and show everybody love in the comments, just a way of showing my respect. And, again, so people could feel seen. If you have any questions, you want to see anything discussed in the chat, get my attention in there. I'm going to address you. I'm going to give you that love back. Check the description box on my videos, just different information, other contents I like, other content creators. I like to pay homage to people who helped me when I was like on the, you know, when I was in the beginning of my healing journey. So also on the about page, you can find an address to my P.O. box. I see you, little man. I appreciate you. God is so good. And sometimes you got to just build it up. Like I didn't know a lot of the stuff that I know now and that I learned. And I'm going to make a video really soon just talking about how making YouTube videos changed me as a person, like the things that it taught me. It When you have to, record yourself, there's certain things that you got to be ready to come to terms with and that you got to find comfort in. I ain't gonna get too deep about it, but it has a way of, you kind of got to reflect within yourself to be able to do that and feel confident to do it and leave it up there for people to see, and understanding that not everybody is gonna like everything you do, but that's okay. Just keep your wits about you. And if you're coming to people with authenticity and with good intentions and the desire to help people on your heart, like it's gonna land. You just got to be ready to be patient. So that's one of the main things I learned. But yeah, check the about page on my YouTube channel. If you ain't already subscribed on here, definitely subscribe. You will not be disappointed, and obviously it's free. You can always just unsubscribe if you want to. I ain't gonna know who you is. I can't tell. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna be mad at you. But yeah, the address of my PO box. You want to shoot something over? You want to promote something? Like you want to write me something on a sticky note and send it. It could be a sock, a stick of gum, a freaking AA battery. Like you send that to my PO box, I'm gonna show you love. I got links up there. If you want to make a small donation to the channel, it ain't about that, but it definitely will be appreciated. Because creating content is not free. Okay, let me tell you. But yeah, so Cash App, PayPal up there. But I'm gonna be on here regardless, and I'm here for y'all because really it's therapy for me. It helps me, and that's the truth. Like it helps me to do this. So yeah, I appreciate you all. I'm gonna go ahead and log off. But I thank y'all, and we gonna do it again. So be on the lookout on my Instagram and community post. I'm gonna announce it like a couple days in advance to give people more time, and then eventually we'll kind of figure out if like a day on the weekend works better because people have their families, they have children and stuff like that. So yeah, we gonna link soon, little man. You came a little later, but I expect to see you back, and I appreciate you for sure. Everybody in the chat, everybody who had a question or a or a comment, everybody who hit the thumbs up. It don't go unnoticed at all. I'm just a woman, and I can't do it by myself. And I appreciate y'all so much, and I thank you. And I'm gonna get up out of here. So until next time, it's Biz. It's Biz. It's Biz. And I appreciate y'all. Until next time, we about. All right.